Hey there, Scorpio, and welcome to your October 2019 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and welcome to my channel. As I was tuning into your energy for this month, I was given this impression, first of all, of the inside of a cave, and I was seeing almost this kind of flickering light, and then I just get this very quick flash of this feline face that was either yawning or like the mouth was opening, kind of like this, like that. But it wasn't, it sounds scary to describe it that way, but actually the feeling that accompanied this, I guess, impression that I was given for you is actually that something incredibly powerful is waking up deep within you, Scorpio, and some kind of deep, ancient, mystical, or very imaginative or creative, inspired part of you is like waking up, and you are feeling it. You are feeling it in a very visceral and profound, energetic way. And I do feel that this, whatever this is that's waking up, it's bringing you so much joy because it feels like yourself again. I feel like you are, and especially if some of you have been dealing with some frustrating things in your life, or if you've been dealing with feeling down energetically, or feeling like life circumstances have caused you to focus on problems recently, I feel like October represents this very powerful, like phenomenal moment where you connect with your true power, your true essence, your true abilities as a creator of your own experience, and you're recognizing almost in this sort of destined way, like it's not necessarily because of something you're doing, it's not because you're trying to bring this energy in, it's almost like your time has come, Scorpio. I feel like, especially if any of you have felt disempowered by something in your life, or if you felt overpowered by a situation or a problem and you've had to sort of wait it out and you haven't been able to take action, you haven't been able to make it different, that can really get a Scorpio down. And that can, when a Scorpio feels down, they will often also be sort of down on their luck and down in other ways, because their energy, because you're a fixed sign, you tend to kind of get caught on the problems in your life or other people's energy. Like if there's negative energy around you, you can get sort of fixated on it because you just want to solve it. But for some of you, I feel like there's been something that you just couldn't solve because you had to maybe learn a lesson of surrender, or you had to maybe learn some kind of empowerment or some kind of clarity, like achieve some sort of clarity within yourself. Regardless, I think sometimes, the more I get into astrology too, we go through these periods that are kind of more frustrating, and they're temporary. And so for some of you, I'm picking up this feeling of having been in a frustrating situation and being more focused on the problems that have been in your life. But it's like in October, you are going in so hot energetically, like you are feeling like you have your power back, you have your mojo back, and it's inexplicable. Like I said, it's not because you're doing anything specifically different, and maybe that's also to show you that whatever you've been struggling with, Scorpio, hasn't been your fault. Maybe it's been something that you needed to experience for one reason or another, and now that temporary experience, you can start to feel that you're at the end of it, and you're feeling a lot more empowered. You're feeling a lot more ready to take on the world, essentially. Take on your projects. Getting your energy back means that you can pursue things again. It means that you can create again. It means that you can feel free to express yourself. So this is just a really powerful month for Scorpios. And of course, we do have the sun moving into your sign on the 23rd. So happy birthday to those of you Scorpio suns out there. And let's go ahead and take a look at your cards. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Beautiful. I just keep feeling like I'm hearing the word magic or magical, or there's some kind of magic happening in your life this month. I wouldn't be surprised if gates open for you that have been shut for a while, or maybe you feel like they've been shut for a while. And it's like your time has come, Scorpio. That's the only way I can say it. Is seeing almost like eagle wings, like spreading, like you're spreading your wings. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. So we have earthworm as the path and deer as the influence. So this is a very earthy draw, putting the energy largely in life spheres that are related to home and household, as well as work, career, money, all of those kinds of things. We also see with the earthworm as your path card that you might feel like you're kind of starting over with something, because the message that I kept getting about like moving forward again, or feeling like an energy becomes unstuck for you, I feel like it's possible that whatever is getting moving in your life, whatever is getting momentum in your life again, it's almost like you are familiar with it, but at the same time, with the earthworm, you feel like you're just at the beginning again somehow, or you feel like you are re-exploring the role of being like mentored, or of being guided. It's like you're coming back to this sense of being at the start and needing maybe a little bit of support, needing a little bit of guidance. But also really strongly, I want to say that this is also about like trusting yourself, Scorpio, and trusting your insights, and trusting that like whatever you feel, because the color, look at the color inside this card. This is showing that your ideas and what brings you joy, what kind of brightens up your world, that holds the key. But you're going to possibly feel like your excitement isn't enough, or what you love and what brings you joy isn't enough for some reason. And I can feel some of you, as I'm saying that, kind of thinking, well, no, I trust what I love, but there's something deeper that is going to profoundly improve your situation, especially when it comes to career or family life, or anything that kind of helps you feel like stable and grounded, because these are very earthy cards. It's almost like there's an unconscious assumption that you're making that you're going to have to work through this month, that allows you to recognize the actual limiting beliefs and thoughts that have been holding you back, that you, here's the kicker, Scorpio, you have been unconscious of. You, of all signs, the most connected to your unconscious mind, the most deep dwelling sign in terms of the psyche. You have some unconscious beliefs that you thought, maybe you think that you're aware of most of them. Maybe you think that you have been conscious or been made conscious through your own personal inner work. Maybe you feel like you've been conscious of most of the things that have been holding you back. But I feel like this month in October, as you experience this revitalization of your inner world and this sense of kind of coming back to yourself and feeling so much more energy and so much more like yourself, there's this sense of you recognizing maybe something that you have genuinely been using against yourself in terms of your thought process that actually has no validity whatsoever. So be open to learning new things about yourself. Be open to recognizing illusions that you have placed, within your own mind that you're not consciously aware of. Because I think one of the things for a Scorpio is that it's like you have such a deep relationship with your life, and you have such a deep relationship with yourself, that you can tend to feel like when something is causing a struggle for you, or when something is creating an internal sense of dissonance or frustration for you, you assume that you're aware of what that is, because you've done so much inner work, and because you're constantly reviewing what is going through your mind But I feel like there's something here that's like, no, go past that, Scorpio. Go deeper with yourself, because there is something that you've been using against yourself that you just heretofore have not been seeing. But the beauty of this is that once you recognize it, it melts away completely. Like these things that are limiting you, like in terms of your conscious mind, these things are mere shadows. They're mere illusions. They don't have any substance. So once you recognize what that is, it will melt away, and you will feel again that you have that momentum. You will feel again that you have that creative ability or that trust and confidence within yourself that some of you may have been lacking recently. I also see a very profound positive influence coming in for you in October. This is not usually how I read the Animal Spirit Oracle cards, but I am actually literally seeing this Deer card as a feminine influence in your life of love, care, attention, and strength for you. So this could be something like a reconnection with a woman in your life, possibly a woman who's a little bit older than you or who interacts with you in a sort of a mothering or nurturing way. So that could be a physical woman. It could also be a reconnection with a spirit guide who is feminine, or even a reconnection with a deity, or a new connection with a deity or a consciousness that is deeply like personal for you and shows up to really help you with your work or help you make tangible changes in your life in some way, because it is the Deer card. It's a very earthy card. But there's a very sweet, loving influence coming in from a woman. So be open to support from a woman. Maybe this is a great month to book in some sessions with a therapist maybe, or a life coach, or somebody who can gently kind of support you and guide you. I'm also hearing the word doula with this, so perhaps if there's any of you who are preparing for pregnancy or preparing for a birth, there could be like a very helpful doula energy coming in, or maybe some of you are doulas in training or entering into that type of work in some way, shape, or form. But I'm feeling this energy of almost like either a literal doula or a metaphorical doula, somebody who's here to kind of help you go through this rebirth process. So whether it's a literal physical birth that's happening or a spiritual, mental, emotional rebirth that's happening for you, somebody is going to be there to guide you along the process. And I'm getting chills all over as I'm saying this, so it's obviously really important. And whether it's, again, a spirit guide or an ancestor even, or a literal woman in your life who can help you, all of you are going to have access to this help. So be open to it. This feels incredibly nurturing and supportive for you, Scorpio. So let's take a look at your cards. We've got the Prince of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Four of Cups. We've got the Lord, the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. Interesting. So I'm going to tune in here. You have some fours. The Lord, the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups, and threes, which are both significant numbers in the Hermetic practice of alchemy. 3 and 4 together comprise sort of like the divine masculine and the divine feminine archetypes and their equivalents in the alchemical process. So this is a very deep reading, and it's going to be pretty powerful this month for you. There is the completion of an alchemical process. That is really the phenomenon that's going on that is contributing so much to the particular energy of this month for Scorpios. So I want to talk first about the Prince of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. So as we go into the month of October, we see this emotional movement happening in your life, because the Prince of Cups, all of the knights or princes in the tarot represent movement and change and the flow of events. with the Four of Pentacles, we see an image of stagnation or stuck energy, or energy that has been preserved and locked away for a future purpose. So that's not always a bad thing. You know, we can see the Four of Pentacles in some readings showing a stagnation of energy, which can be negative, but we can also see it in some readings as something that has been stored away for future use. And I think in this case, it's a little bit of both for you, Scorpio. Many of you may have felt a little bit emotionally blocked in certain areas of your life. And I feel that for many of you, this emotional stagnation or this internal sense of waiting may have been somewhat astrological. I mean, we have Saturn direct now. Jupiter went direct somewhat recently as well, previous to Saturn. But there's a lot of kind of big planetary players that are going direct now. So you may have been unconsciously influenced by that energy. It could also be for other like personal reasons that have been going on in your life, where you've just felt either like you've closed your heart off to something, or you've been kind of stuck in a situation that you were kind of learning the themes of surrender with it. Or you could have just been like holding out for whatever reason. But I feel like there's this emotional movement happening now with the Prince of Cups. So this period of waiting, or this period of stagnation with the Four of Pentacles, is kind of coming to a close, and you're reaping the rewards of that, even if it was uncomfortable, and even if you also don't necessarily feel like you did the best job in terms of like managing your internal emotional state. Like, I know that some of you have expressed feeling like some anxiety. We did have some intense energies over the summer months or the winter months if you're in, you know, the southern hemisphere. But there were some intense energies recently, and I feel like what's going on in these cards is that you are kind of reaping the rewards of that, even if during the process of undergoing those energies you are feeling like you maybe could have handled them better in certain situations. But I feel like the Prince of Cups is really coming up to show that you are movable now, Scorpio. You are becoming more mobile internally in your own kind of inner world, as well as maybe even physically, externally. Like maybe you're going to be traveling more this month, or planning more travels, or realizing that you're not stuck. Like in whatever way you have felt stuck, you're not stuck anymore. And actually, as you mobilize and as you take charge, I feel that a lot of your personal energy is sort of being freed up, and you're starting to see how you've grown throughout the process of undergoing whatever circumstances you've had to endure over the previous months. So I feel like overall this is a very it's a very literal reading. It's like saying you're getting things in motion. The Justice card and the Four of Cups. So as we go further into the month, we have the Justice and the Four of Cups. So Justice is a Libra card. So this could, for some of you, be relating to a Libra in your life. If you have a Libra Sun, Moon, or Rising person in your life, or if you have Libra in a particular placement in your chart that's significant for you, then you may be interacting and engaging with the Libra energy in kind of like an ambiguous way. Like you might be feeling, because, you know, the sun will still be, at this point in the month, the sun will still be in Libra, which is your 12th house, that can in itself bring about like a more of a focus on internal processes and internal like changes in perspective, reflecting on the year previous, because it's almost your season again. A lot of this can be like the introverted aspect of Libra season for you. I feel like many of you are not actually experiencing Libra season as incredibly like introverted, but I think that regardless of whatever your natural inclination is at this time, I feel like it's going to be really important in that second week of October to set aside some time for contemplation and to give yourself some extra rest if that's what you feel you need, Scorpio. There's something about this like Libran energy that I feel is kind of asking you to not make judgments right away, but really come back to yourself and maybe prioritize journaling or prioritize working with your dreams, and not make any snap judgments about like how you're going to change things moving forward, because I feel like there's going to be there's going to be a lot on your mind, and there's going to be a lot that you're kind of pondering and thinking about, but I don't see like a final decision being in your highest good during that second week. I feel like it's more the second week, there's going to maybe be a couple days here and there in that second week of October that feel to you maybe like you are a little bit down, or like you just need to take in a mental health day basically and write about things in your journal, or make some art, or listen to music, do some things that you can do solo that will be very creative and inspiring for you. And you could also feel as well like you would benefit from maybe talking to, like I said before, a therapist or a coach or someone like that, because the Justice energy can also be advisors and people who are objective and just and who will tell us the truth, and but at the same time be fair with us and not be overly harsh on us or anything like that. So I feel like this is just a very contemplative period, but I don't think it lasts forever, because immediately you have the Lord, which is the Emperor, with the Seven of Pentacles. So the third week of the month, there's a lot coming in for you that kind of crystallizes and becomes clear. Here we see the power of the number 4 in the Emperor, the absolute kind of pure power of the archetypal number 4, and like its meaning and symbolism is really represented in the Emperor card, or the Lord card in the Druidcraft Tarot. You can see this person looks very determined. They look very grounded to me. They also have this eagle flying in the background, which is, the eagle is one of the totems that is associated with the sign of Scorpio. And if you look at, for example, the Wheel of Fortune card or the World card, we don't see a scorpion representing the sign of Scorpio on those cards where all the fixed signs are represented. We actually see an eagle, because eagles are deeply connected to the symbolism of Scorpio and represent the highest vibration of Scorpio, that ability to kind of cross worlds, because eagles are always around water. They hunt in water. They live near water. They are kind of like creatures of water and air. And so there's something kind of amphibious about them as kind of like a totem and as a creature. So there's something here with this in the background showing that like your eagle vision, Scorpio, like your eagle eye is coming back to you in the third week, probably right around the time that the sun moves into your sign. And the Lord card here is showing that you really are like rooted in your own energy, and you're going to be making some kind of significant stride in your life, because you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of harvest. We see this person using the sickle here to remove some of this herb. So there's a sense of some kind of reward coming to you. There's a sense of a process coming to a completion that is productive. There's a sense also of breaking the ties with the past, breaking the ties with the energies of the previous year, and really stepping out into a new phase. And what is this phase going to be characterized by for you, Scorpio? It's going to be characterized by you being the Lord of your own life, you being in your personal sovereignty. This represents you having personal strength and taking a leadership role, and not being afraid of that, not being caught up, I'm hearing, in anything that removes you or your power from being the driver of your life. Like, this is about you standing in your truth, your purpose, your clarity, and looking at the options that you have and being like, this is what I'm doing, and harvesting that, like immediately seeing results from that, immediately being able to harvest the benefit of what decision you have just made within yourself and the clarity that you've found within yourself. Some of you could literally be achieving some kind of higher status in your life with the Lord. It can represent starting your own business, for example, or getting a management position, or, somehow achieving more sovereignty and control in your own life. So it's very empowering, and it's also at the same time, it's kind of it's kind of serious in a way. Like, I feel that internally you are on fire with joy, Scorpio, this month. I feel like you, especially if you make it a point to do things that bring you joy, I feel like you're going to continually kind of deepen that sense of anticipation and excitement and that feeling of having your mojo back, that feeling of kind of looking at what's ahead and looking with joy at it and feeling empowered. But at the same time, I think outwardly, you are going to be taking actions with a certain equanimity that other people are going to see you more like this. Even if internally you feel more like the Fool card or the Earthworm, because the Earthworm was your path, you might internally feel like this, but people are perceiving you like this. So be dedicated to your path, Scorpio. Be dedicated to whatever you feel is important for you to focus on right now, because that's all you have in the end is your own judgment, your own discernment, your own voice, and it will not lead you astray this month. I feel like your voice and your sovereignty and your trust in yourself is really what's liberating you this month. It's kind of like throwing away all of the comparison, all of the disappointment, all of the frustration, and maybe not necessarily throwing it away, but like accepting it, if there has been anything like that on such a deep level, that the only thing left for you to focus on, the only thing left to put your energy into is what brings you joy and love. You know, that ultimately is the only truth for you. And I feel like the more that you let life and your creations and your creative work be simple, and let it be about just what you love and just what you care about and just what your purpose is, you will be able to surmount any obstacle. And I feel like that's really what that cat face that I saw in the meditation was about. It's like that power to face anything, because you're not feeling inadequate in any way. You're not maybe even really that focused on yourself. You're just tying in or looping into that passion or that inspiration and then being in the zone, and that's it. So allow that to guide your creative process. And if you are working on anything creatively, Scorpio, I think it's going to be amazing. Now let's talk about these two threes. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. These two themes are definitely tied together. Part of this is kind of making me feel like with the Three of Pentacles, there's this sense of a new aspect of your work and new connections or colleagues that you're making either professionally or in some other way. There could be like a couple other people that you're pairing up with, for example, that do things that are similar to what you do or complement what you do. And this represents something that's really positive for you and for your growth as a creator or a business owner. But I also feel like with the Three of Swords, you're having to let go of something that isn't working for you. Even if it was something that you were excited about, maybe even recently, with the Three of Swords, it's like they're both carving in something into a tree, right? And one on the Three of Pentacles, which is, I feel, the direction that things are headed for you, the carving into the tree is very symbolic and beautiful, and it relates to what I'm hearing is like the next level of your skill, the next level of what you offer. That's what's being sort of engraved into the tree on that card of the Three of Pentacles. But the Three of Swords shows a tree that has had some of the bark removed. So I feel like sometimes in the process of entering into this beautiful new phase of advancement in your career or advancement in your creativity or advancement in any other area of your life that's important to you, that is pretty much always accompanied with a corresponding sense of loss of the past. And this is not something, like, I'm not saying that to be pessimistic, and I'm not saying that to say that this path forward isn't worth it for you, but I feel like it's important to recognize, even when you have the most amazing, beautiful thing, like, let's say you have been wanting to conceive a child, or, you know, you and your partner have been wanting to adopt, or something like that. You've always wanted to have a family, and at some point after a lot of work and effort, it finally happens for you. That still is such a big, massive life change that once you become a parent, it changes your whole like place in the universe, basically. So it's such a big change that sometimes it is accompanied with a sense of loss, because you look back on the last chapter and you realize that that era is over. And even if what you have just begun represents exactly what you want to do, you're still going to have to allow yourself a little bit of time to accept whatever has been lost. And I think you're ultimately really happy about this, Scorpio. I feel like this is something that you want, because we have the Three of Pentacles. So it's like growth is happening, sovereignty is happening, a newfound comfort and confidence and stability in yourself, in your work is happening. But just like every other blessing in life, it's going to be proportionate to, like, the part that you have to accept is proportionate to the blessing that is received. So in another way, we could look at this as very philosophical, because it really asks you, if you're aware that every major blessing or positive change in your life comes with a little hint of loss, or a little hint of something that you have to accept, some kind of change that you have to accept, then it also follows that every like challenging thing that happens to you in your life that you subjectively would describe as negative, that you don't want to have happen, comes with a secret seed of a blessing too. So everything has this balance to it. Everything has a light and shadow. So you might as well just be happy with whatever is going on, no matter what. I mean, I think it's going to be easy for you to be happy this month and next month and onward, but I feel like when you do have those challenging times, or you have those really blessed, insane, positive times, it's like there's this witnessing consciousness that you can get into that appreciates everything that's going on, and loves the blessings, loves the gifts, loves the messages, loves the signs and the omens and the presents, but also stays in the center and doesn't go too high or low no matter what is going on around you. Wow. And just like I was saying when I was shuffling your cards, the word magic was coming through and something magical happening. This is a confirmation of that from the Soul Trees Oracle. The magic card is about exactly that, magical blessings, mysterious blessings, magic happening for you in many different ways in your life, and really working in mysterious ways in your life, so that the energy of this month is really less about kind of understanding all of the workings of what's going on, but it's more about kind of embracing what is and just being like, all right, this is freaking magical. I can't explain it. And we have for your oracle message, just general oracle guidance for you from the Energy Oracle deck. We have the Thinking Woman. So I love this card, and I feel like for many of you, this shows that you are very much in a place of reflection in October, which is a comfortable place for a Scorpio to be. You are a very introverted, reflective sign. I also feel that this card doubles as emphasis on the positive energy from the female that we saw, which could be a female guide, goddess, or even a literal human, female person giving you some sort of help or support. But there's this like positive energy of a woman coming into your life who might be able to be a teacher for you, or a mentor for you, or a guide for you. And again, the message coming through is trust this and really be open to receiving support and guidance from someone that you trust. Magic is happening. The magic is real, Scorpio. The magic is real. This is going to be an amazing month. It's going to be a phenomenal month for you. And I just see you really recovering so much of your own energy and your own voice and really getting into your groove before your season. So happy birthday to those of you Scorpio suns out there. I'm sending you so many beautiful birthday wishes and blessings. I wanted to say thank you so much for watching my channel, Scorpio. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel, and it helps me to know that the readings are helpful to you, and it really helps my channel also get noticed in the search engines and the algorithms that YouTube has. So leave a comment if you felt like this was helpful. Give me a subscribe, subscribe to notifications, give me a thumbs up. All of these things really, I can't stress it enough, support my channel, and I need you guys. You know, I do these readings for you, and they are put out there with the intention that they're helpful. So the best way that you can support me is to just show me that they are helpful to you. So please go ahead and do that now. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an amazing month in October, and please take care of yourselves, Scorpios. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I'll put the information on that below. I have my new shop on my website, and I also have the 2020 forecast readings up on my listing, so you can check those out if you want to pre-order and have me look into the energies of 2020 for you personally. Okay, Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love, and if you'd like to participate with me on Instagram, we also have a daily tarot challenge this month called Witch's New Year Challenge, getting into all kinds of fun witchy stuff. So I'll see you over there. I'll put my Instagram below if you want to follow along. Take care. I'm sending you so much love, Scorpio, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.